Alex, Biophilic Bath. Biophilic, that's a new one on me. Could you simplify?
Well, biophilic design, biophilic architecture is the interplay between the built environment and the green environment. From history, it was people emulating wildlife through the medium of their fans, their columns, the capitals that we see. But also, biophilic is the interrelationship of green and built environment. So there is a new way of thinking that green planting can enhance buildings and they can work together if they're designed together.
Now, of all museums, this is the one that makes the point that really from Georgian times onwards, one of the great attractions of this city has been how green it is.
It is. It's a beautiful green landscape city, and we know that many of the architects who helped to build the built environment have used motifs and emblems taken from nature of fruit, of leaves, of trees, of plants. And it's a green landscape city, it's wonderful.
But we're looking at ways here of possibly making it more green. And it's not just a question of making it a green city, but a question of letting nature back in, I think. A couple of things took my eye. Great Pulteney Street, I know it's a favourite little avenue as far as I'm concerned. I'd like to see trees there, trees along both sides. I'm sure there are lots of moans and groans from those listening who live in that area. But we've got an idea here for putting rain gardens on each side of Pulteney Street. What exactly are they thinking about there?
Well, of course, the Georgians loved trees. They brought many, many trees into the city of Bath. They imported them from all over the world. And there's some, I must put a plug in, there are some really great leaflets about the treescape of Bath that was curated, which is wonderful. Great Pulteney Street, I think the concept there is that compared with Georgian times, we're facing much more extremes of weather. We know for a couple of years ago, Widcombe suffered a devastating flood because 36 hours of average rainfall fell in less than 15 minutes. We're facing these extremes where we're seeing almost monsoon-type scenarios. Now, rain gardens are a really wonderful feature that can be fitted into our streetscape. They exist in many other countries in the world. And what they do is they provide a natural buffer where trees and plants can absorb water and slow down that rainfall, but synthesize it and absorb it. And so the idea for Great Pulteney Street is to, as we see an increasing future without cars, is replacing some of those features by putting rain gardens through the centre of that and increasing tree cover, because as well as rainfall, we also know that in the summer, maybe not this one, it's getting hotter as well, and more trees help to cool the city during hotter days.
It's where the pigeons gather, don't they, in the shade. We should learn a lesson from nature. Now, the other one that intrigued me was Southgate. Now, I have approached Southgate about their plastic flowers, so I'm not just having a go at them without giving them the right of reply, but they haven't come back to me. But anyway, putting that to one side, there's another idea here for a sort of lovely winding natural trail through that shopping centre. What do you think of that idea?
I think the amazing thing about plants is they really soften hard architecture. And hard architecture is hard. It's full of hard edges, it's full of hard materials. Plants can really help to soften that. And I won't comment on the plastic flowers, but it would be amazing to be in a place that's full of live plants. Plants are amazing. They are really important to our well-being. They help to lower blood pressure. They help to reduce stress. They purify our air. They make it feel like a softer, more inviting place to be. And if you go to somewhere like London or many of the other cities, we see amazing green spaces and green walls built into our environment. It would be a fabulous addition to Southgate that I think many visitors would really relish.
Now, these, of course, are just ideas. I mean, these are not things that are going to happen tomorrow. Who do you think should come and have a look at this? I know you want the general public to come and look at this, but do you think it might help Baines to come and look at this?
Absolutely. And there are many people at the council who are talking about how they can increase the green spaces in Bath. So yes, the council are really important to have that discussion with, but also urban designers. There are some wonderful gardeners. We've seen all these troughs that have been proliferating on the streets with an attempt to sort of green the city. There are many community groups that really want to take control of those troughs and manage the planting so that they can be looked after and cared for. So yes, many people should come to see this, but also just imagine the vision of a Bath that not only has green fingers of the landscape coming in, but those are proliferating throughout all of our buildings, and there is greenery and abundance all around us. It would be a magical place to visit.
I think I'm with you on that. Well, I know this is an exhibition people should come and see, but while they're thinking about how nature could be brought back into the city, the whole building itself is something you want people to consider, isn't it? The future of the Museum of Bath Architecture.
Absolutely. We stand here in this beautiful chapel built in 1765. We acquired it back in 1983 when property prices were extremely low and this building was facing a really uncertain future. We've run it as a couple of different types of things, the Huntingdon Centre for Learning, the Bath Buildings Museum, and now the Museum of Bath Architecture. It needs love and it needs care and attention, and we want to put together a funding application that means that we can do something substantial to make this building feel more inviting inside, but so that we can continue to tell the story of Bath and the way that it was built, but also to tell maybe the story of what the future of Bath is about retrofitting historic buildings and through adaptation for buildings to climate change. But with all these things, we want to talk to people. You know, we have ideas, but actually we want to hear the ideas of other people who've been to this museum, who love this museum, and who want to see it turned into a better museum for the future.
And they can come here and make a note of their own suggestions and leave them with you.
Yes, we have interpretation panels. We have we're talking about some of the things that we know that we'd like to do. For example, we need accessible toilets. We need this building to feel warmer in the winter. Sometimes it can feel like it's sub-zero internally. So we know that there are some things we need to do, but really we need the inspiration and views of as many people as possible.